Righty. Do we have everyone here? Minus one pupper.
Ah, I just realized what you were changing on OBS, and I have not done that either. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, I
We'll
mean,
just invis that for now.
yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I think someone was letting their doggo out. Them puppers need
Also,
outside. What's up?
you have a token for spicy?
Yes.
Uh, hmm.
Do I know what I'm doing? No.
Oh no. Can you send me the like the image that you're using?
Yeah, for your OBS.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do it right now, but actually I might be able to. I'm not gonna do it while I'm streaming. Oh, that's badass.
I'm Harvey Birdman.
Attorney at call.
Oh god. All right, I gotta remember to add that.
I mean that's I mean if Spicy wanted to change it later, I just needed some kind of a placeholder to have a token to put in.
Yeah,
I wanted to be a spear wielding bird person, and that picture fits it pretty well. So,
that's exactly what that is. Yep.
yep. So,
If you could also send it to me, I'd appreciate that because I do plan on joining the party at some point.
yeah, I
Nice.
will put
You
it
could post it
in
in the main channel in the
general.
Discord or whatever.
That would be great to see.
I mean
In
I
the
could
OOC.
make a channel for you if you want to put art and stuff in. You know what? I'll just do that.
Hell
I'll just
yeah.
make an art channel.
Now, this is just a generic photo I found. I just thought
Oh,
it
there it
fit
is. Yep. In
pretty
general.
well. So,
Bow, 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 bow.
more or less, kind of nailed the appearance I was going for.
I want to
So,
make sure my microphone
That'd be
is
awesome
picking
to
up what
get
it should be picking up.
some artwork of all the characters in the group.
that would be really cool.
That would be so cool.
That's what Zach's profile picture on everything is. Was somebody drew his?
All right.
He had a D&D campaign that went on for a couple of years, and somebody drew all the characters.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Mhm.
that. That's
Okay.
cool.
I don't want to overdo the filter, so let's
He
put it
plays
right
like a
there. I want to get that
paladin or
middle.
something.
Not too sensitive, not too, crazy. Okay, so. All right, so. Who would like to do the recap for an inspiration?
I think spicy.
Oh,
Right, I got.
really love the sun.
Let's see. Because if nobody picks, I might pick somebody.
Uh-oh.
Also, I see Cha's thing lighting up, but I don't know if you're actually saying anything.
You just hear movement.
Hello?
Movement.
Hello.
Okay, I'll give the recap. Week on the yet to be determined name of our group gathering adventure. We were in a strange, giddy dimension of an interesting entity named Tio Moonblade, a powerful sorceress who was doing experimentations in the local area we had been tasked with checking out by the mayor of Grenstall. We were gobbled up by a mimic and went through all kinds of havoc, and then ended up having a nice interaction with her. We awoke after sleeping in her little pocket dimension, started to head out. Cha went and asked her about his key, this obsidian key he carries around his neck on a platinum chain. And she didn't exactly answer, but they did have an intense moral discussion about actions and right and wrong, and choice and destiny and birthright and all kinds of things. He headed back to the group, and we continued south back toward on our way that we came back to Grenstall, stopping at a very similar area as the other one we had camped in on our way toward this same place, and were beset upon by, well, actually, first off, the kobolds that Cha, um, what's the word?
Acquired.
Acquired or adopted.
Just
Adopted. He went out on a little hunting trip to cook up a nice soup for everybody, and two of them were lost. One of them riding on a medium-sized spider. Shaw was in a flurry with Kozik trying to figure out where they were and what was going on. Meanwhile, the team back at the campsite were beset upon by sentient rats. Tons of them that were giving them all kinds of trouble, but were really just looking for food. And Kozik returned. I was like, well, give him the skins from the rabbits that my two kobold friends had caught. They took it, and mentally, Cha heard in his mind, thank you, from the lead sentient rat. They took off. I believe we then went after our kobold friends and discovered that there was a whole battle between kobolds and goblins in this area that had been going on for who knows how long. We met some goblins, interrogated and captured some, killed one who were attacking my kobold adoptees. And then I think while we were doing all that, Niavara transformed into a goblin, a medium-sized goblin, which was intriguing to all, especially the goblins, and infiltrated the goblin camp to go and find the kobolds who were trapped down there, interacted with Big Steve. They're all named Steve. Big Steve, the hobgoblin that leads them. She had a nice interaction with him, very intriguing and tense. Got the kobolds out, got out of there. We went back, said, happily murdered our prisoner to leave no witnesses, and we got the hell out of there, running through the night to the point of exhaustion. Get away from this huge war between these two factions. We finally came to a beautiful glade, a waterfall, large tree that was like something out of a dream. And Kozik was drawn toward this tree, and we all started to see a figure sort of moving in the bark, a female figure with a thin body and pointy ears, sort of morphing in and out of the bark of this giant, beautiful tree. And then Kozik was very drawn to it. And I believe like a portal kind of opened in it, and we traveled through into another realm. Beautiful, bright, sparkly, glowing, glimmering realm. And we've appeared there. And I believe that's kind of what I recall. Am I missing anything once we got to that world? Did we do anything else, or was that where we kind of stopped?
Well, we met right, there was a giant archway or something in the tree,
and then like the some sort of lady of the woods kind of nymph, right? Remember, kind of came out
Right.
of it, and we interacted and had some very humorous conversations and things, or whatever. Yeah, then we found ourselves in this fairy realm. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I think I was getting sleepy, so I'm a
That's
little
a
hazy towards the end.
detail. Yeah.
And did we determine that this creature was a dryad? I thought I wrote that down somewhere. Maybe that was something
I
else.
mean, nobody really investigate that in character.
Did we get a name of that creature?
Nobody asked.
Okay.
I must have been
we're so
falling asleep
impolite.
or something.
She was running the show.
You're not wrong.
She also wasn't talking, and she was also mad at Niavara because Niavara killed some rats.
Oh, that's right. She was like giving looks.
Listen, I'll do it again.
Yeah, Cha and Niavara had a long discussion about the ethics of killing sentient rats.
Niavara didn't know they were saying it, and they're just rats.
And I have specifically here, Cha has a chunk of membrane.
Yep.
Evocative.
Right?
Oh, here was the where we were. There we go. I also
There
remember
you have
Zed killed a goblin that wouldn't give us any information.
Yep. Happily murdered, as I said. While Cha watched with between his fingers.
Right.
He tried to give the creature a choice. He said, "Hey, if you better say something useful, or my friend's gonna murder you." And he
gonna
was like,
say,
"You enemy!" And
Yeah,
Zed went to town.
he just kept wanting to kill our kobolds, Cha's children. Zed's not
Right.
having that. We did give that goblin every opportunity, I would say.
To
Yeah,
be
you-
very, very fair to the goblins, none of them were playing with the full deck.
You're right.
Right.
There's nothing that
That
could have been
specific
done.
one
I mean,
couldn't even count. So
Yeah, and your warning shot right across his nose
Killed one.
and up it.
oh yeah, I killed one.
Boom.
domed,
Second
domed the first
Spaceballs
one, right?
reference tonight. How many Spaceballs references are we gonna have tonight?
I don't know. Depends on how well you remember the movie.
We've lost the deeps, we've lost the sweeps, and we've lost the creeps.
I have a friend who thought that Spaceballs was part of the Star Wars canon.
Isn't it?
Well,
Let's see.
Jar-
Part of the extended universe. It's no longer
Jar Jar's retelling of the Star Wars universe.
Mhm.
Oh my
There you go.
gosh, that's hilarious.
That's perfect.
that makes
Can
sense.
you hear me all right? By the way, I changed microphones.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're a lot louder now.
I went from a
Sounds good.
headset to back to the boom. So
There you go.
It just that's fine.
Should be
All
good.
right.
I'm almost
So
constantly adjusting volumes.
yep, audio. Right. The last thing you'd expect to be the hardest part of streaming.
Mhm.
So yeah,
My
Cha,
most
you get
hated
your
part.
inspiration. So check your little
Inspiration.
checker marker thingamadoohickey there for it. And so we pick up where we left off. You have just stepped through this weird portal thing that was in the tree. That you realize there wasn't really a portal that opened up as much as it was you crossed the threshold of the tree and it was a completely different experience. And yeah, we left off with you guys just kind of standing here in the middle of what seems to be sort of a beaten trail. Yeah, it seems to be twilight at the moment. You know, the moon's in the or the celestial body is in the sky. stars are shining bright, and you're all just kind of standing there, just kind of looking around. What and where, or to whom, or to how, or to why would you like to do?
What do we see behind us? As far as does it
Oh
still
yeah.
look like that same threshold that we just walked to or walked
Yep.
through?
We left the kobolds out there with some snacks and just told them to stick together and wait.
Yep, they are very motivated by food.
What is this place, you guys? Music?
I don't know.
So Kozik, to you, as he actually asked that question, you don't seem to recall, like you feel like, as far as your memory goes, you don't know. Like, you've never been here before. But then there's still that, that tug, that pull, that familiarity that's still, it's somewhere within your very being that you've been here, but you just don't have any memory of being here. It feels like home, but a home that you've never seen.
Wow, that makes me feel a little bit conflicted, somehow empty. But good. So, do I feel like any sort of impetus to go in any direction, or is this just kind of a feeling that
At the current moment, it kind of feels more like you're acclimating. Like you just stepped outside in the sun after kind of, or I should say, you stepped back in, a house or a hovel after being in the sun all day, and your vision's clearing, right? That's kind of what it feels like to you because, as mentioned before, this area, this terrain, the air, the air you breathe, the land you stepped on, it just kind of feels like it's crackling with an unseen energy. It's pure, unadulterated power. And yet things still exist here as if unaffected, or, well, to some extent they seem unaffected, right? You've never really seen a giant, vibrant, violet, tree before. So you'd probably ascertain there's some level of effect here, but whatever it is, everything has already adapted to whatever this energy is, and you kind of feel it in the air, almost like being in a parade, right? And everybody's excited and happy, and there's just this air that, it's this air of comfort or joy, or, you know, but here it's an air of energy and power.
Yeah, I guess I kind of take a deep breath. Ah, guys, I feel pretty good here. How do you guys feel?
Everyone
Child's
else,
already taken off his boots. He's just walking around barefoot, touching everything.
to everyone else, you also get that, but in a very muted sense. Like the difference between touching something with your hand versus touching something with a glove on. You still get that feeling of the cackling energy, the raw power, but it's not. It's maybe a tingle here and there, as opposed to the difference between being a conduit or a divining rod kind of thing.
I feel as though we're all sort of meant to be here. And then I think, but don't say, but me especially.
We're all in this together.
And I think
Thank you.
any business we have with the mayor can definitely wait.
For sure.
That's all.
Is this normal? We just walk through trees in the material plane and end up in a whole other world?
Uh, not to my experience now.
Oh, okay.
Zed's just kind of dumbfounded. He's just staring around, and every once in a while, he's just kind of rubbing his eyes just to make sure that they're not playing tricks on him.
Niavara is like obviously a little unnerved as well, hanging back next to her brother, more than a little visibly concerned. She doesn't like to be in situations that she's not in some degree of control of, and she's definitely not in control here.
Indeed.
Jaws like squat down and is like gliding the tip of his tail through the little plants and just sort of making trails in the dirt at his feet and taking sniffing things in, looking up into the trees. Wow.
As you're doing all this, like a tiny little sparrow lands on your shoulder, maybe like on your hand, like a Disney princess kind of thing.
Hey there, little one. You're so pretty.
Up to that not come through the microphone?
What's your name? Can you talk? All the other creatures in this world seem to be able to talk.
It just kind of tilts its head towards you.
Oh my goodness, you're so cute. Starts stroking the top of its little head. Takes out a little piece of crumbly dried bread and holds it out for the bird to nip on.
So you can give me a perception check. Actually, everybody can.
She's the cutest.
So Spicy, how do you do a perception check? In your character sheet, under attributes, there's, acrobatics and all that. You click on the word.
Okay, I've been trying to figure out how to do attack rolls too, and I just keep opening the description. All right. Got it.
And all the math should be calculated for you in that event.
For having a high bonus, I rolled like poop.
Such is the way she blows. All right.
Yeah, you just joined a group of people that
Yeah, these are
roll
some of the highest rolls that have ever
exceptionally
happened.
well.
Like
Yeah.
right here.
Well,
Well,
Royals is different reason. Okay. So Veldrin and Kozik, as Cha is obviously distracted with this tiny bird, you notice a tiny little cat kind of crawling through the underbrush, its eyes locked onto this nest, this rested bird on Cha's shoulder. Its head low, its ears back. It's kind of doing that chirping sound as cats often do when they're hunting. And it looks like it's about ready to pounce. And it's this cat that has like this, I'd say this cat has like all black fur except for like a single line along its back. And the line is green.
Hey, Le Pew. Nice. It doesn't look dangerous? Looks curious.
Oh, it looks like it's hunting that bird. Its eyes are locked on it. It's just on the edge of like some underbrush. It's ready to pounce.
You're so cute. What name should I give you? Steve? Stevette? Steverino?
I say,
Stefan?
hey, watch out for the bird. There's a strange cat-like creature sneaking up on
Huh?
you.
And as you say that, Cha,
Uh-oh.
as you're focused on the bird, you just out of nowhere see this black cat with this like green stripe along its back just jump out of nowhere, and it just grabs that bird right off your shoulder.
Is it possible for me to use deflect missiles to push it out of the way?
Unfortunately,
the
the cat
bird.
is not a missile.
Okay. Is there any reaction I can have where I could potentially save the bird?
I'd say you could make a acrobatics at disadvantage because you rolled so low on your perception.
Okay, here we go. Acrobatics. My disadvantage rolls are better than my regular roll.
Unfortunately, if anything, you trying to maneuver yourself to, save this creature kind of startles it a little bit, and it starts to fly up and off, and that is the exact trajectory that this cat was flying at, to which it catches this bird in its mouth mid-flight, because cats do be like that, does a little twirl in the air, and lands on the ground behind you with a bird in its mouth.
Oh man. Well, I guess that's the way of things. Bye bye, birdie. It was nice knowing you.
I support the cat.
Go off, Big Steve. Take care of little Steve. You shall now become one.
Who are you talking to?
Cat and the bird.
Ah, cat and bird. It doesn't seem like the bird lasts very long. There's a couple of death throes before its body hangs lifeless in the cat's mouth. And the cat sits and looks up towards you and audibly just says, meow. With that depth. And swishes its tail back and forth.
Todd looks back at everybody and sort of whispers with his hand up to his mouth. You guys, should we eat that? Do you think it would be delicious?
That's a cat chaw.
Meow.
So?
Meow.
Is it like a faux pas in this world?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Cats are very normally pets. They do eat small vermin.
Oh, pets. Okay. I had a
But
pet imp once.
They usually don't have a very deep voice like that, though.
Not unless
Meow.
something's wrong with them. Which, it tracks.
You think it's sick?
Not necessarily.
Should we put it down?
No.
Okay. Just following your lead, everybody. Don't know any of this stuff.
Well, there's this one trail that seems to go off into, well, who knows where it goes. The trail gets overrun by lush greenery very quickly. Well, not overrun, but, it curves enough to the point where you can only see so far down the road.
I kneel down to the weird cat and I say, well, nice to meet you, Mr. Cat. And I imagine it's kind of licking its mouth there with this dead bird or whatever. And then I say, well, where should we follow this road?
Meow. And it just kind of looks down the road. Kozik, you have the option. Would you like to make a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
Or would you like to
Well-
opt to fail said wisdom saving throw automatically?
Well, shit. I guess I normally want to make a wisdom saving throw, but how about I roll this D100 to see? Oh no, wait, that's adding more. I'll roll for it. Let's see what happens. Ability savings throw, wisdom. Okay. Normal. 13.
So you're rolling for the gotcha. So 13 is something. The cat just keeps meowing at you. Meow. Its head turned towards the road or the path as it continues on. And you can swear you hear, as this thing is meowing at you, the meows start turning to words or something? Kind of what? You know she's waiting for you. Meow.
Right. She is waiting for me. Right, guys? Did you guys hear that?
Cat sounds like it needs to be put down. That's what I heard. Listen to that. But cat sounds like that. The Hellcats from where I come from. You put it down.
I think this cat might just have something it can do to help us. Maybe it can lead the way or something. I'm getting some
I'm
good
just the
vibes.
messenger. Meow. I'm also
Oh,
hungry.
he
all
says he's
hear-
just the messenger. Sorry, go ahead.
Cat talking to you?
Yeah, can we all hear the cat, or do
Nope.
we just hear meows?
You just hear meows.
Hey, Kozik, that you're hearing voices from that cat.
Oh, I mean, cat is talking, right? I don't know about hearing voices, but
Zed's just gonna kind of peer around at everyone, like, am I crazy?
and well, we all look at you like you are anyway.
Typically.
And then, uh, I say, yeah, I think she's waiting for us, and I kind of stand up and start making my way down the trail.
That would be the eldritch being that you sold your soul to.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, that sounds right.
All right.
Thanks, Mr. Cat. Are you coming with us?
Meow. Nope. Just hungry.
All right, he's just. Oh, okay. Well, before I take off, I grab some sort of thing from my ration bag that the cat might like, and I throw it to him.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, you're
Meow.
quite welcome. You're welcome, sir.
So the rations you throw on the ground, it just kind of paws at it, like it's a little toy.
Sounds about right.
And eventually it keeps pawing it until it like disappears into a bush. Just kind of like, I'm a cat. I just have a really deep voice. Meow.
I'm
And
gonna
I'll-
let the Fig Newton lay where it lies there, and we could probably keep going.
Fig Newton.
All right. So is that what the party is gonna do? Follow the road? Go off the beaten trail? Get
No,
eaten
we should
by a
really follow the
sandworm?
guy. We should follow the guy who's hearing voices from strange animals in a new world. That's my vote.
Right, so sounds about right. Or for the course, I say.
Sure.
Definitely at this point.
Stranger things have happened. So, you continue down this beaten path, this trail, this road? Whatever it is, wherever it's going. You do eventually come across something very interesting. So, you know that big violet cackling with energy tree that you've been staring at this whole time? That thing was a lot closer than it looked. Or maybe you're moving faster than you thought you were. Or maybe you're all crazy and it's just an illusion and it doesn't exist at all. Either way, you begin to pass by it. It's right next to you. I'd say roughly 15 to 20 feet away at the base of it. But as you can see in the image, the tree kind of curves down at an angle. So it's not like, the usual trees that you see and they kind of, just kind of go straight in the ground. No. This one's kind of almost has like a little swirl to the base of it, as if it's sort of spiraling upwards, almost like a dancing flame frozen in time, and yet in the form of a tree. And even the leaves have like this opalescence to them, as some of them fall to the ground as you get near. And you know that cackling, that energy that you feel in the air, still slightly more potent here.
Oh, feel that. Tingly.
Feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Like when I was taught about the ways of the chi from my master.
Ah, yes, you're a monk. So
Zed's just
it.
Zed's gonna
Oh, sorry.
kind of clear his throat and be like,
Forgot
"Oh,
about that.
all right. We know one of us is gonna touch the tree. Who's gonna be it?"
Nivara puts a finger on her nose.
Chop puts finger on his nose.
Oh wait, so oh that means you're not it. Okay. I definitely feel like I'm gonna touch the tree.
Well,
Better.
go
Hey
ahead.
Niavaro, let's watch these guys touch the tree while standing back here. Yeah.
100%. Nivara will take several steps back.
All right. So it sounds like Kozik's leading the tree touching shenanigan. If that is your wish.
Should we
No.
race?
Stop. Wait. Come back. I just had to put that on the record that I said that. So
Yeah. Gloved hands out in front of me, and I start taking paces towards this magic tree. And it seems to feel it feels pretty nice just to like be close to this tree. And yeah, I walk up to it and I put my little dwarven hands on it, and I say, "Hello, we're here. We're home."
Zed's like comically hiding, but not really, behind Kozik, just acting as if he can't be seen, but obviously standing right behind him.
All right, Zed, give me a perception check.
All right.
Kozik, give me a Arcana check.
It's a very mischievous realm we're in, right? Arcana normal. Okay. Nice. Nice.
Let's
wow.
go. It's the strength. It's all the
Incredible.
energy in the air, right?
The
In this
tree
realm.
explodes. Yeah.
The tree explodes.
Dang.
Yeah, the tree explodes. No. Uh, so starting
We both
with
turn Super Saiyan.
let's start with Zed because this is the you see things before they happen. Zed, you see this little squirrel, just a single squirrel, just poke its head out of the tree. It runs down the bark. It runs up to your feet. It tries to climb up on you. I mean, I guess you can, if you don't want it to, then I mean, I'll say you can get out of the way of it. But I mean, squirrels are really freaking fast. But you do have the option to try and get out of the way of it.
I'll kind of see what it's doing.
So it climbs up your leg, up your torso, to your shoulder, and then climbs up on your head and sits there as it watches whatever Kozik's doing. And sorry, what was Kozik asking? You were
Declaring that we're home. We've come back. Feels right.
well, that's lovely, but do you have to touch my house?
I kind of put my hands under my armpits and I go, sorry.
All you do is come in and touch people's houses. That's just rude.
Apologies. And I
We
take
have
I take a step back so I can bow, even though I don't see who's speaking. I give a little curt dwarven bow.
All
right.
right. Snickers and elbows Niavaro in the ribs a little bit, like points at.
Look at this clown.
And this is the voice everybody can hear, by the way. It's a squirrely voice. coming from a squirrel. Now, why are you here, touching my house? Are you trying to chop down tree? No, don't do that. Tree is for me. Tree for fun. Tree, tree. Well, tree with the wing friend too. And I want to point out when you did touch the tree, just kind of backtrack just a second. With that arcana, you notice so the bright leaves and the branches as you touch this tree, it's almost like igniting a flame. As it's the best way to explain it, imagine a nebulous cloud and there's this kind of like, storms and stuff going through it. Like this tree went from just, vibrant to just the greatest display of raw power coalescing in a single spot. Unstable? I'd say with a nat 20, it's relatively stable. For the purpose of, whether it explodes or if it's dangerous or not. It's relatively contained to the leaves and the branches. It doesn't seem to go too far outside the radius of this tree. But this tree is just emanating a very showy and very bright and colorful display of violets and purples and opalescence. It's just kind of cycling through all these colors. It's actually really a sight to behold, honestly.
Oh, I'd say you live in a very powerful seeming house, don't you?
Mm-hmm. I live with Raul.
Raul.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Wow.
What's your name?
Well, hey Raul, if you were to have a tiny squirrel friend that could speak to you, what would you name it?
Alan.
It's Alan.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Raul calls me Alan.
Well met,
Alan.
Alan.
Oh,
Well
right.
met.
Yep. When I go too far, he goes, Alan, 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 Alan. And then I come right back.
Indeed. Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Kozik Deepshaft, a dwarf. And it's a pleasure to meet you. These are my compatriots.
Do they have names? Or are they just compatriots?
They can speak for themselves.
Right.
The
The one that you'd be
compatriot.
sitting atop of, Zed Thatcher.
I am Cha.
Ooh, Thatcher. Fun name. Do you make thatch?
What?
What?
Yeah.
He's a
Hey,
human.
That's actually a good question.
I mean,
You make thatch, Zed? Like for a roof, a hut.
No.
no.
Oh. Why are you called a thatcher then?
Be honest, old captain actually, I believe, gave me that name, so I never even asked him. Maybe he made thatch.
So he wanted you to be a roofer.
Are you saying that you did not have a family name until it was given you by the captain?
Not really that I know of. I don't
Huh.
don't really have a family.
Well, you do
Like
now, Zed.
like my crew kind of became my family, and I feel akin to you also.
Does that mean we can change your name?
I hesitate to say yes to that, Chop.
Good. Right answer.
Very ominous, Chaw.
It's
I can
Daddy.
think of some names.
And well,
Well, where's
I
this?
I can.
Where's this Raul?
He's
Oh,
still
go
up in
ahead.
tree. He's sleeping. Well, I mean, probably not sleeping now.
Well, so you and your squirrel buddy are just hanging out in this magnificently purple tree.
Squirrel buddy. You know squirrel?
Was
Who's
Rawls not a
squirrel?
squirrel?
No, Raul, not squirrel. Raul, big like you.
Is he threatening?
I mean, anybody can be threatening.
Yes, they can be, but is he?
Not to me.
I'm
I mean, unless
going to
when
be upset that Zed and Kozik are touching our tree.
probably not. Lots of people come through here and touch
Oh.
tree. Don't know why. Well,
It's a tree.
Agreed.
all.
Beautiful tree, of course, but you know.
that's why I live in it. Squeak, squeak. Or chirp, chirp. So, Mr. Raoul, if you are ready.
Yep.
So you and Alan have been living in this tree for quite a while. It's, it's high up, so it gives you a pretty good vantage point of things. It is, it seems to solve any nutrient, issues that you need to fulfill. And of course, so far you've been relatively well hidden and safe in it. But for whatever reason, every so often, you just, Alan would disappear every so often and come back and be like, yeah, someone touched tree again. And you usually just like, yeah, whatever. Basically, you're probably just like, did they do anything to it? No? Or however you want to react to that, I suppose.
I feel like that's exactly how I would react to it.
But this time seems slightly different. Other people touching tree, nothing really happens. It's like, oh, people, maybe some people come through and check it out. This time, the tree just exploded with energy. Not that it damaged you or anything, but it's definitely a very different experience than any other time before. Well, except for maybe one, but that's a story for another time. But you are definitely awoken, and you can hear talking at the base of the tree. And this thing is really tall. So, imagine a redwood.
Okay, so like, I'm probably like 50 to like 100 feet off the ground,
Yep.
right?
And you
I want
probably
to be like
you have like a hut up there,
laying
probably.
on a branch,
Yeah, that's fine.
like hammock style, laying on a branch. If that's over.
And as you're laying on this branch, Alan points up. Feel free to describe yourself.
So you would see, similar to like a red-tailed hawk, but 6'5".
Where's my beverage?
Just giant bird person, kind of lazily laying on a branch with his wings like flopped behind him off the sides of the branch with his hands behind his head. It's Alan being Alan, so I'm just listening.
See? Raul. That Raul. You don't do nothing. Well, nothing bad. Not to me, anyway.
I was going to approach the tree now, seeing that everybody's kind of communicating with the creature. kind of looking up toward where the squirrel was pointing, and back at the others. You making friends, you guys?
Hopefully. Apparently, there's a bird fella up there named Raoul, and this here on
Oh.
my head's Alan.
Hey, Alan.
Hi. It jumps from Zed's head on top of yours.
Oh, here, if you
It's
hold on to the horns, you'll have more support.
a little sugar glider.
You're adorable, Alan.
I know.
Hey, maybe you should meet our friend, Zed or Veldrin Niavara. You pull out the what did we name our cute little bone cat? What's our bone cat's name?
Well, old Jim named it Mittens.
Yeah.
Mittens. That was it.
Hmm.
Hey, let's introduce Alan to Mittens.
Niavara is uneasily staring up at the giant creature. She does not like things that can get that high up.
They can if they have
Unnerved.
wings.
I guess at this point, I'll stand up and be like, Alan, who are you talking to?
Ah, new friends, new friends. Friendly people.
They touched the tree again. At least everybody got touched the tree. We didn't do nothing to nobody.
I know. At least these actually know what I'm saying.
I'm not touching the tree. Just saying hi.
I actually
Hello.
That one touched
Actually,
tree. And he points to
touched the tree
Kozik.
either.
Sorry.
It was this one.
Ratty,
Sounds like me and sounds like me and the
ratty
squirrel at the
mouse.
house.
It was him. He touched the tree. So I guess I will kind of on like all fours leap off of the branch and just float down.
Oh.
So at like 6'5", I guess I would have like would that be like an 8-foot wingspan? Something like that? 7 foot?
That was the biggest bird I ever seen.
Wow.
I don't think that's a
Cool.
bird.
Yeah, and you all definitely see this avian humanoid just gracefully flutter to the ground.
Does it seem like these creatures are speaking in our minds or like openly speaking common?
Oh, this one's openly speaking common. And did you pull out Mittens or? I know you were asking, but I wasn't sure if you actually did it.
Ivara, Veldrin, do you have mittens? Mittens. If you have mittens.
Niavara might. She's hanging back by Veldrin because again, she's seen a lot of things. I don't think she's seen one of these. It's unnerving. Big guy.
Hey, they're all right. We're just making friends.
I'm sure he's alright. He's just big.
You big? You fine?
Debatable.
Is Niavar small?
Niavara is short. Debatable on both ends.
Actually, this is a perfect time for everybody to describe their character for Raoul, so he knows what you kind of look like. Let's start with who's the first on my list here. Cha.
So Cha, you see he's about 5'11", 6 feet, kind of wiry, dressed on black,
Uh-oh.
with long
Turn into a robot.
impala-like black horns coming out of his forehead. Black eyes with sort of slightest tinge of a blue iris. A long tail, dressed in like a black silk shirt with a black hood on, black leather pants, black boots, carrying a staff that has kind of a golden inlay in it, and smiling with his fanged teeth.
All right. And you notice this individual very, very quickly. However, there's others. So, Zed, feel free to describe yourself. Ooh, I missed one. Okay, I'll do that.
Zed's fairly tall. I don't think he's going to be as tall as Raul, but for like 6'2", I think 6'3", and he's got longer, dark, kind of shaggy and
Uh-oh. I heard Shaggy and... Uh-oh. Is that my internet? Hello?
pretty
Oh, my...
much kind of
Ah, damn. Sorry,
stereotypical
my Discord
pirate
disconnected.
sailor.
Okay, so Cha is like very light complexion, horned creature, appears friendly, like a friendly demeanor, friendly face kind of thing. And
I
then
think
Zed's
relaxed.
Zed would appear like bardic to Raul, I guess, by your description. Like, piratey makes sense, but I guess I would kind of see him as almost like a troubadour-esque character. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
By the
Probably
way he talks, he sounds
by-
friendly and kind of boisterous.
Yeah, by look and everything like that, just kind of looks like he's always on the go,
All right.
possibly sailing.
All right. So then, Beldrin, feel free to describe yourself so Raul knows what you look like. In the hopes that Discord doesn't go kapoof again.
Belgian might be AFK.
I believe that Beldrin is AFK.
Ah, Neovar it is.
So hanging back, and sort of away from the others, are a pair of drow siblings. Neovar is one of them. She's definitely the shortest member of the party, sitting at a small, petite 5'2". Sort of puffed up in something like stress at not knowing what the fuck is going on. Definitely a little bit of a glare, like she's trying to figure out if she can fight you. Does not trust it.
Fight
Not a
or
bit.
flight kind of facial expression, like the what the hell is this?
What the hell is this? Where the fuck am I? What have I gotten
Oh
myself
my
into?
god,
Sort
it's
of
picking up
situation.
audio again.
She's never been to the Feywild or some variety of it.
And you show up here and there's a giant bird.
Giant fucking bird. More than just sizing you up though, she's trying to you can tell that she's analyzing your features very closely for whatever reason.
So Raul would be doing the bird side eye, kind of looking around, but the eye's still on you, kind of movements, like very twitchy head movements while talking to you.
Niavara might actually copy that. Or try to.
Like beak opening and closing at kind of random intervals, eyes kind of shifting back and forth quickly, but not seemingly anxious or anything, just very fidgety.
Bird motions.
Bird motions.
Bird motions. And then, Kozik, feel free to describe yourself.
All right, Kozik is a self-described dwarf, and he is about, I guess he's around 5 feet tall, and pretty broad of shoulder, obviously. And under his kind of gray chainmail, that he wears, you can see there's kind of he's got some clothes that looked nice at some point, but they're a little bit travel worn now. There's this little extra decoration around the collar that looks a little faded, but at one point seemed really custom and pretty nice. His boots too are a little bit faded, the heels a little bit worn down, but they look like they were pretty expensive. And he has kind of a short black beard and black hair, and he kind of has a ruddy complexion, kind of dark complected. And yeah, he's right now looking around in wonder a little bit, like he's waiting for the rave to start or something. Maybe it's and the effect of being in this zone, this phase zone. Yep.
Would I notice his armor being of like originally high quality?
Considering your background,
That's what I was going with. Could I do like a history or a perception to maybe see if I notice anything that I might recognize?
let's go with a.
Oh, and I am wearing like although well, you do probably have pretty good bird vision. There's I'm wearing a nice signet ring on a chain around my neck that just happens to be outside my shirt at the moment.
I too am wearing a signet ring on a chain.
I don't know. Maybe my dwarven eyes could see it. I don't know.
You know what? Everybody's just kind of looking everybody over. Give me a perception check, and all you gotta beat is a 10.
Doesn't tell me what it is. I don't know how to find it in my inventory. Though.
So at the bottom right, Spicy, there's a little
signet, banner, or seal representing place and rank.
Yeah. So at the bottom right, there's a little dice roller tray, like a D4, D6.
Okay.
So if you wanted to just do a raw roll with no modifiers, we can use those. But it's
20?
perception, so it's also in your character sheet. So just so you know that is down there. If you're not sure what to roll or something, you could use that little dice tray at the bottom.
Okay. I get a bonus to perception, so we will do.
In Kozik, you can also roll a perception.
Oh, let's do it.
All you gotta do is beat a 10.
Come on, baby. Yeah.
So, Raoul and Kozik, as you are interacting, you're observing each other, taking in who these people are, and you both, I'll just say almost at the same time, acknowledge or at least notice the markings of nobility in some sense. You may not know exactly which house or what specifically, but that it seems to be a tradition that goes across several different aspects of life. Kind of that representation of a signet ring representing some kind of level of power, of social prowess.
So, with my background, I will, in Dwarven, give him a Dwarvish salute.
Oh,
Just like back home.
I take a step back. I'm a little bit taken aback, and I look around, and I kind of give him the same gesture. I don't know if it's verbal or kind of our own noble kind of understanding, but
yeah, it's almost like a little bit of you know how thieves get thieves can't. Maybe this could be like the noble nod.
the nod, yeah, game recognized game. Mm-hmm.
pursed lips smile when you pass somebody in a grocery store.
Nice.
And then-
I stand up a little bit straighter. I don't say anything, but I'm like, oh, okay, I better.
And is Carbon back for describing Veldrin?
I've not seen. They left at 9:31 my time, so just under 15 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, you notice a. Let's see. Would you know what this creature is? You notice a. You know elves. You've seen elves in some way, shape, or form. But this
Can I
elf,
post a picture?
I should be able to see.
A picture of Veldrin. I have the stream pulled up. I can see the avatar.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
There you go.
a very dark-skinned elf in similar facial features to Niavara, implying some sort of familial relation. Though taller than her, and he's got a book in one hand that his nose has been in, and a skeletal hand that he doesn't seem bothered by or frightened of.
I will be slightly bothered by it. I'm gonna notice the hand and be like, "Oh, right. That's a odd thing to carry around with you."
It's his hand. It's not like a random object. His hand is. He
Oh, so
doesn't-
his hand is skeletal.
One hand is
Correct.
fleshy and one
I'm
is
gonna
skeletal.
Gonna be even more concerned by this.
We're used to it. We
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
normal.
You see that? That guy's got a bone hand. And can he move it?
Yes.
Well, all right, okay. That's very strange. And I don't know what to think of this man's hand.
You're very strange. And I know what to think about your beak.
And at that point, a tiny
All
little
right, Gibbon.
skeletal cat hops out of one of the peoples, whoever has the cat in the bag.
There's Mittens. Come say hi, Mittens.
I'm gonna be immediately frightened by one, a cat, and two, it's not alive. But it is alive, possibly.
Sunday.
Yes, come here, Mittens. Come here.
I instinctively apply my protection against evil. Terrified
you
reaction
can.
of it.
This
don't know
is
how to use
Mittens. Mittens was reanimated by an old friend of ours we'd met quite a while ago. Actually, now that I think of it, it was only like a week ago or something.
Why?
Why do we care? Why is Mitten so cute? I think it's because of his adorable personality.
Why was he reanimated? That's odd to do to one's pet.
Oh, is it? Huh. Old Jim seemed to think it was the most normal thing ever. An old friend of ours, he reanimated dead things all over the place just to have companions around him.
Hey, Alan.
Hmm?
If I ever get that lonely, say something.
Something.
God damn it, Alan.
Niavara snorts.
Are you lonely?
I guess so.
Well, what's
I mean,
the deal
it's not
here?
like you go out and meet people.
I
You,
thought
you just hang out in the tree all day. I think I've met more people than you.
we were friends, Alan. I didn't know I needed more friends.
You can always have more friends. Like this one. And Alan just, without fear, jumps on the back of the cat. Or Mittens.
Oh, look at them play.
I guess if Alan trusts it, I guess I will too.
I mean, we've been here a long time. Lots of weirder things happen.
Look, just watch Mittens try to clean itself. But it doesn't have a tongue, and it has nothing to clean. It's just adorable. Look at that. So what's your deal, Raul? How long have you been in this tree? I don't know if time works the same around here as where we come from.
I don't know how long I've been in this tree. Sometime, I think. Alan, when did we meet?
Yes.
I've been here for yes amount of time. That's
Ah,
all I can tell you, I guess. You're the first person to ever make the tree do the thing that the tree did, though.
oh, that's not normal.
No. I think that's why I came down here. Because most people that touch the tree, it doesn't frighten me awake when the tree erupts in magical fire.
Like
Child
because it
looks
not
like
be
Child shoots a concerned look at Kozik.
Kozik is feeling no pain right now. He's just kind of taking it all in. He's like, wow, this is. I mean, I find that's hard to believe. I mean, there's magic everywhere. Can't you feel it?
But I think there's more magic in this tree than everywhere else. Kind of
Might be
drew
right.
me in. I don't know if it's what it looks like or how it makes you feel, but try sleeping in it. It's like drinking a cup of coffee every morning when you wake up, but you don't have to. Quite invigorating.
Nice.
Frankly, a little bit disturbing if you don't know how long you've been here.
I don't even know how old I am, really, now that I think about it.
But you know your
Nivara.
name.
Raul. Yep. Alan got it right. That's me.
Do you remember your family? People?
Yeah, I do. I don't remember how I got here, though.
Oh.
you know where here is?
I
Possibly?
told you 100 times. And Alan just points to the tree. You can't do there. I don't know how you keep forgetting.
Oh, the
Oh.
trees we came through. We came through a tree too to get here.
Did Alan point to the tree I was living in, or to the original tree?
There's another tree off in the distance.
Okay. I will.
Maybe you
Or-
want to forget.
I don't know. Last thing I remember was I lived in a nomadic kind of, tribe, right? I was a knight to the chieftain. And I remember being poisoned by somebody that looked a bit strange, had a bit of a magical appearance. And then I woke up here
Poisoned?
through that tree. I guess Alan told me that.
Yeah, that tree right there. That you could have left at any point in time you ever wanted to.
I didn't really see a need to leave.
Well, and there you go, I guess. And he pets Mittens while on Mittens' back.
It's a nice
Oh.
tree that we were living in, though, Alan, wouldn't you say? I don't think I've needed for anything in a little bit.
Except maybe more friends.
Oh, well, yeah. I cherished our friendship, Alan.
Me too. You haven't eaten me.
It's true. I could have, but you talk, and I feel like that's a bit concerning. I don't think you should eat things that talk to you.
Safe bet.
Yeah, you should talk to
Yeah.
Joe about that.
Yeah, we'll continue that discussion another time. But
So do you eat your friends?
well, he looks around at everybody. No.
The opportunity yet.
Would he eat you guys if given the chance?
Nivar considers it. I don't think so. I think I'd kill him before he got to me.
I wouldn't kill them to eat them, but if they happen to be dead, maybe. You know,
He
if
like
I was
tasteless
really
things.
hungry,
It-
look, I
It's not.
come
No, it's
from a
not threatening.
family.
It's not a bad thing. Well,
Yeah, I don't want to kill
it has
anybody.
been a bit of a gross thing at times, but
That's it.
yeah, when you took a bite of the membrane that you apparently kept, yeah, that was a bit gross.
It's a
Very
Yeah.
membrane.
That's top of my
Not good
list.
for eating, but might be useful for other purposes.
Like
He
what?
pulls out a glop of like gelatinous, transparent membrane. Like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't taste great. It's kind of empty sort of taste. But look at it jiggle. Kind of cool. Shoves it back in his pack.
Quite a wonderful snack you have there. And I'm gonna like awkwardly turn to everybody else.
Niavara has somehow gone from purple to a shade of brown instead of green.
You have that effect on her all the time there, Shaw?
Just
Oh,
when
she's
that's
just
that thing.
blushing. That's the blush. Isn't that blushing?
No. It's just
Listen, I'm new to this world and the other world. I'm just like a baby, wants to eat everything, touch everything. Yeah. So forgive me if I make any faux pas. Not by intention.
Well, I don't know the rules here either. I just don't
Where
eat things
is
that
here
talk.
anyway? is
Next
this
to a
place?
tree. That's where here is. I
Oh.
know where here is because I know where I'm not.
Okay, okay. I mean,
Alan, can you make that sound a bit less confusing?
So if here is next to this tree, here would be over there if we were next to that tree.
sure.
Alan,
I guess I just meant like the whole planet, world, realm. You know, you
Oh,
said you were
yep.
part of a tribe, right? Did your tribe have a name?
I probably.
Probably.
I don't remember what it is.
Do you think this place messes up people's memories, you guys?
I have this signet ring that has their symbol on it, and I do remember that. I'm gonna hold the necklace up and look at it.
Shaw takes a good look at it.
Gonna
Another
be
person
like
with a necklace.
the eagle's head, but with like 2 cross spears through it.
I mean, that looks like a clear symbol for a group or something, but you don't remember names.
No, I remember Alan.
Hi.
Alan, what would you call this whole land you live in? Do you have a name for it?
Pretty.
It is.
Can Niavara do some sort of history or religion roll?
Yes, either of those applicable, but they will give you different bits of information.
Out of character, I came up with this character like an hour before we started, and I didn't come up with a name. So, Cube, this is on you.
Mm-hmm.
Make it up as you go.
Tribe of Steve. Got it. Done. Easy.
Steve.
You know,
Easy,
I'm
Stevie.
gonna go the religious angle, considering what Niavara really is. How much does she know? Not at all.
Oh,
Nah.
there we go.
You know,
There-
Knight background could be a religious order for sure. Could definitely be.
Oh, she's not trying to find out about you. She's trying to find out about where they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're
Kosik.
not sure.
Kosik, you said that cat back there was talking to you about someone wanting to see you. Is it this person here?
I don't think so. I kind of turn to Raoul and say, well, Mr. Raoul, do you know of any magical mistress of this world or anything like that who lives around here?
So, Raul,
Would
you
I
would know
about that?
of several entities that could fit that bill, especially considering where you are. Well,
Would
not
I
necessarily by name per se, but word of
Description.
mouth descriptions. I mean, you've met other creatures in here in this realm, but they never really
Do I
gave
know
any
the-
names.
do I know the cat?
No, I
Okay.
mean you know of talking cats. I mean, you've been friends with a talking squirrel for who knows how long.
Okay.
So that doesn't
it's not
seem.
uncommon. It
Yeah.
wouldn't shock me.
Oops.
Would I know of who poisoned me?
That
Because we chose nobility of Feywild.
you might have an inkling, but you don't know who. You never were able to get a chance to nail that down. While
So,
information does travel, somewhat interestingly here, that also means there's so much information that a lot of things can get obscured.
All right, rumors and hearsay and such. Would I know of a general direction of where these entities are? Like
Well-
places that I avoid or places that I shy away from because of things there or people there.
Well, there's sort of a silhouette or shadowing of a mountain over there. You'd probably ascertain there's, some powerful entities that dwell within the mountains. You've heard probably some weird ongoings about people in the sky or entities in the sky. Let's see. What else would you have kind of heard of through word of mouth? Let's see here. Creatures that live underground. Entities that exist in perpetual states of different seasons. But you've never really been able to fully explore this realm because it is so vast and sometimes it is unpredictable.
Changing.
An ever-changing landscape.
I guess I will regale this to them, but I'm gonna do it in a way that's kind of confusing gibberish.
Well,
Kozak,
how
do you
gibberishy
have
is
more
it?
of a description of your mistress?
So
We've all kind of seen her, haven't we?
to that question, for Kozik,
Moderate gibberish.
moderate gibberish. So for Kozik, sort of thinking in response to that question, all you've ever really interacted with said entity has been a voice. And, well, apparently your party has seen, a silhouetted figure. But beyond that, there's no real description that you can put to memory. It's only been through voice. Like if you heard the voice, that you'd be able to point them out like in a lineup, like, oh yeah, that's you.
Right. So yeah, I say, it's just it's a voice and it's a feeling, and I feel if I get near to somewhere and I call out and I hear a voice back, I'll know it's her. I know that sounds pretty hippie and stuff, but that's just how I'm feeling right now.
Right? I have an idea. I don't know if you'll like it.
Go ahead.
What if I just pick you up, fly you way up in the sky, and you start yelling? And see if they yell back.
I think if you picked up any one of us and took us up in the sky, we'd start yelling.
Yeah,
I feel pretty earthbound.
I feel very attached to the earth, and she's
Take-
like tugging on Veldrin, like, okay, where do you... Smart boy, bookman.
I feel like the idea of a flying dwarf sounds hilarious, though.
It does. It sounds very wrong.
I guess the question is Veldrin back?
He said,
I am back.
Aha.
Where the fuck are we? Do you recognize this place? 'Cause I don't. You read. You know things.
Would Veldrin recognize it?
Give me a history check. As you are the book learning. Oh, hell yeah.
Veldrin
Nice.
definitely knows.
That was exactly where we are.
You clear his throat as DM. You're here. No, just kidding. So you have crossed over, and with the nat 20, that I'll even backtrack it a little bit. You know, I'll apply this. So first off, you would have been able to ascertain the entity that guided you here. That was something called a dryad. Dryads often have sort of they have a sort of territory that they patrol or live in or around. So that's part one to this nat 20 knowledge, because it was such a good roll. You know, I even went back in times like, yeah, you know this. Part two of this bit of information is that tree you cross through is something called a fey crossing. It is essentially a gateway, or to some extent maybe a weakening or thinning between the veil that allows for creatures of one realm to cross into another. Much different from, you know, being in the Underdark. Next bit of information. And to such, you would also be very aware that this is the Feywilds, a very, very very chaotic land where magic runs rampant. It's the equivalent of being stuck inside of a power generator, right? There's this energy everywhere. Entities play with magic here as if they're playthings. They utilize magic as if it's toys. They make, you know, when they make a pinky promise, there's an arcane effect that comes with it. If you make a deal with somebody, that deal is sealed with, you know, arcane magic. It is denizens of this realm play with magic like it is nothing. Very different from, you know, where you came from, where magic is very limiting to some extent. It's chaotic, yes, but this is a different kind of chaos. It's almost like a structured chaos, to the point where things are stable, but they are, you know, unpredictable at times. Let's see, what else with that nat 20 history? And I'll say you've even started reading the book at this point, and I will also point out, I will send you a message shortly of something else that's appeared in there.
Ooh.
And to the extent of this history check and knowledge, your hand, your skeletal hand, it feels like flesh and blood, but it's obviously visually still skeletal. There's that much level of magic in the air that it's almost filling in blanks for you. I mean, your hand is still skeletal. You touch something and, you know, it's not like an illusion, but it feels like the other one.
Ghost flesh.
And there's the knowledge dump with that nat 20. Oh yeah, right, nat 20, where you are. And you would also know that there is several powerful entities that dwell within these realms. But, you know, you might not necessarily know them by name, because it kind of seems like they change hands a lot, but you know of the courts, you know, the different fey courts. Maybe I'll say a cup. Fuck it, it's nat 20. Yeah, you know the fey courts. You know that, you know, sometimes they bicker, but you also know that this particular, you know, the fey is very large, and there are other entities beyond those that exist that are extremely powerful, if not more powerful. Whew, okay, there you go. That's the lower dump. I must sip my chalky milk.
Lamau.
Question is, does Veldrin share that information or not?
Does he only share it with Niavara because Niavara is begging for information?
He only shares with Niavara.
And my Discord is being finicky, so I will send you information when Discord lets me. Hell, Discord? Let me try something. Oh, there we go. It's loading real slow.
Well, Raul, we are going to try to make for this powerful creature that my friend Kozik here is friends with. Would you care to join us?
My
Alan?
internet.
Would you like to go on an adventure?
Ah.
Oh, come on,
Ah.
Alan. Come on.
I mean,
We've done it. We've done it this long.
You do like mittens.
the tree. The tree is so comfortable though.
Can I go take apart like a branch off the tree and then like, all right, tree's coming with us.
Give me a persuasion. But I'll say with advantage because Alan is you and Alan are the bestest of buddies. 15. Yeah. 15. He takes the stick and kind of clings it close to his chest and just nods.
I pull out like a little like piece of cloth and tie it around the stick so it looks like he's got like one of those like little sacks on a stick with him.
While still on the back of Mittens. Meow. Meow.
Well, Mittens likes you, Alan.
Mittens continues to lick paws that don't exist.
Oh man, I love that part.
Right, Alan? Let's go with him. Seems interesting. I'm curious to find out where we are as well.
I mean, we're here.
But we could be there. Not here, but over there.
I mean, here is safe.
Over there might also be.
But we know it's safe here. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying.
Right, Alan? Once we find a place that's got it, I'll get you a tiny little knife, just in case.
Meanwhile,
You can stay in the pack with Mittens if you want to.
Oh, you could do that?
yes. You definitely get a sense that it's like a kid being pulled away from their home, right? Like the sense of homesick before even crossing the threshold of the door.
Hey,
But,
Alan,
you know,
maybe
you've
we'll
convinced
come
them.
back after we go on our little adventure. We can come right back here. You see if you like it out there.
I guess. Okay.
That's the spirit, Alan.
All right. Kozik, lead the way.
All right, Boots, let's get walking. And I guess kind of just start off down the trail the way we were going.
Maybe someday we'll figure out what this place is.
Maybe one day. Maybe that's today. Maybe that's never. But either way, you follow the trail. You follow it. You see more, more assemblances of these bright bioluminescence, bright colors, vibrant, healthy plants. Even trees that look like they should be dead, they kind of have that dark kind of dry color. When you get closer to them, they actually are a lot livelier than you think. There's like moss growing on them, and you see like little bugs crawling in them, and it's just there's life everywhere, or at least some semblance of it. I mean, every so often you'd probably see what you swear looks like a boat in the sky flying overhead. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff.
It's like my dream.
Up until
and,
the trail comes to
Dungeon
an
Master,
end.
You had said something about chopping a monk and with his his chi understanding, he would have felt something? Or...
Oh, just in terms of the arcane, like so the translation was Kozik being a creature of magic, of the arcane. He has a very strong connection with this realm, this power, this energy. Cha would also have some semblance of that, but through a different understanding. The comparison being the difference between a wizard interacting with magic versus an artificer is interacting with magic. They both interact with it, they both know what it is, they both kind of practice it, but they kind of translate it differently. So for Kozik, it is arcane energy that he can tap into. For you, it's like there's an energy here that you know, you're aware of it, you kind of feel it, and you've sort of felt it before when you use like your key. So it's kind of like that. You have a slightly different interaction or perception of this ambient power. Like the chi is flowing freely here, whereas normally you kind of interacted with it in a way of you channel the chi and it flows through you. Here it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's what that was.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the trail actually comes to an end. You're just kind of met with shrubbery. Just big, thick ferns, large bushes, trees starting to, litter the trail, and quote unquote trail in front of you. It's basically turned into a forest of some sort. And everybody can give me a perception check as you come to the end of this trail.
Iavara is apparently too busy grumbling about the fucking Feywilds.
Vastly different from
are you
the
doing that
Underdark.
openly, or are you in front of us, or by yourself?
Behind, right next to her brother, like arm in
You
arm.
guys love not telling us what's going on.
Gatekeeping. Did you not read the memo?
Nice. That's right. Gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
My sacred tenets of the traveler, the giver of gifts, the sovereign of change, the host of hosts.
A huge discussion with this poor Aarakocra living in a tree about where he is, where he comes from. You have all the knowledge and don't share it. Classic.
She's freaked out and he's a stranger. Took me like a few days to warm up to you fucks. And you guys knew what the fuck you guys were and why you were there.
So, right. Discord finally works, so I was able to send the thingy. So we got an 18 from Kozik, we got a 19 from Zed, and a 21 from Cha. The DC was 13, so I guess technically a VAR too. So you would notice that there is a sign that looks like it got knocked over and kind of fell into the bushes in front of you. Like a signpost or, a road marker of some kind.
Look at this. Goes and
Can we
kinda
read it?
pulls it up. Yeah, tries to clean it off to see the words.
You dust it off and it says, if you can read this, a new path will emerge. And as you read it, the trees in front of you, and more so like front and to your left, right? So the trees to your front left just start to disappear. Almost like somebody opening a pop-up book. The trees are closing a pop-up book. The trees kind of fold in on themselves into the ground, and the trail emerges right in front of you. And you
Oh,
can
have
kind of
you
feel a
been
little
this
bit
far
of
before?
resistance from the signs. It kind of feels like there's maybe spring-loaded. It's trying to lay back down.
I think I failed my perception. So
Have you come
Um,
this far, or you've just stuck around that tree back there?
well, we're on the ground, and I'm normally in the sky, so I don't think I've ever seen this before.
Ah,
And basically everybody can see that happen because somebody read the sign.
The traveler's sick joke, apparently. All right.
This must be the way we're intended to go.
And actually, I'll even say
sure.
on the back of the sign it says, "Please put sign down when done reading."
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
And then another word forms on the back of the sign as you're putting it down. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. What? Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, like Hitchhiker's Guide vibes from that sign.
Big time.
Never read it.
Oh, you should read it. Classic.
My brain doesn't let me read things for too long. Anyway, a new trail has emerged.
All right, Kozik. What do we got?
We have to keep going. So let's go.
All right. So you continue down this path. The bright shrubbery, the trees, the forest slowly starts to give way. It's becoming a little more, how would I put it? The air is becoming a little more damp. You can kind of feel mud start to form beneath your shoes, boots, feet, talons, cat paws. What other appendages you may be walking on?
I don't like that at all. So can I like go up a little bit?
Yep, you have a flight speed.
I don't want to touch the dirty ground. Dirty.
Well, Chaw's still barefoot, just carrying his boots along, and kind of whistling and humming to himself.
All right. So who all's walking barefoot? Important question. Totally not important question.
I would not have taken my boots off among these people.
Sounds like a Chaw thing. Yeah.
Very Chaw.
Undignified.
I mean, technically mittens.
I don't
Unless-
have boots or anything, so I would have been, I guess.
All right.
Niavara has been running this whole time up till the point they got to the glade. She actually doesn't have her boots on. She's
Hmm.
only partially dressed.
Yeah, you have to do a quick change out of Big Steve to frame his murder.
Correct.
Hmm.
Dress ripped, shoes off, face pissed. Nervous about being in the Feywild. Grumbling to herself, "I'll pass," or from the traveler, "I'll pass," or from the traveler.
Is that right? All of them?
Yes,
Oh, okay. That's cool.
traveler made the world. Cut it open from a dragon's stomach.
Whoa.
Well, that's quite a gruesome way to start your life, I guess.
The world, not
Yeah.
the life. Different things.
Everyone? Like all worlds, or just this
Is it the
world?
world alive, or is the world not alive?
Or is it undead like Mittens?
You guys are just all over. He's jump right on her for that, huh?
Are
Okay.
we
I mean,
standing
that
on
was-
Dragon
that's
Belly right
fascinating.
now?
Yeah. What's that?
Are you not interested in this, Kozik?
Dwarves have a certain real knowledge of where the creation started, so that's
Hello?
I can't wait to meet other dwarves because you always say that you speak for all dwarves. Every time you speak, it's for all dwarves. I can't wait to meet another one and see if it's really true.
I bet you'll be surprised.
I can make that happen sooner than later. Yeah.
There's gaslight it. You just turn into a dwarf. Say what's up.
Pussy doesn't know that.
Uh,
Regardless, it's a metaphor.
what
I
kind of
don't
dragon?
literally know. It's a story about my god. Am I supposed to understand all the things about this man? You know what?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to do a religion roll, and based on it, I will give you the lowdown.
Yes, we want to
You
hear the
might be
story.
part of a cult and not a religion.
It's a religion. The Traveler is one of the Dark Six. The Dark
just-
Six because they're the first gods, obviously.
You should lay off her.
Oh.
Ominous.
Just let her
Yes.
speak.
Well, who are the other 5?
One sec.
They're just all named
She's
Steve.
got to get out her cult pamphlet.
It's not a cult. Most of them are evil, is the problem. I don't actually worship the other 5. I only worship the Traveler because he's my god, and he's the only god of those who is the sovereign, the host, the giver of gifts, the crafter of paths.
She's just reading that off of her pamphlet, huh?
No, she knows the Traveler. However, she'll show you her little button of it, and it's made out of like it's bones and runes.
Hey, I'm not knocking it. I think it's super cool. I'm just interested.
I don't remember the names of the other 5, but they represent passion, destruction, individuality, fear, and vengeance.
And the traveler represents what?
Change.
Oh, okay.
Well, this
Wow.
place changes a lot.
Yes, it does, which is why it's so unnerving. I shouldn't be here.
But
But
if you worship a
worship
guy
change.
that does change, wouldn't you feel very welcomed here?
Right.
She makes a face, and she's like struggling how to explain it.
I know
She looks back at Eldrin.
I know the exact face that she's making. Enjoy that image in the Discord.
It's not that face. That was the face when they're like, "What kind of dragon?"
Just a little more snarky face.
When she's asked why she doesn't feel at home here, she's like, "I was cast out."
Well, that being cast out that's change on its own.
That was a
So-
bad change, and I was very little.
But if you worship change, is change bad or is change good? I'm very confused about this cult.
It
Which
was
change do we
avoided.
worship?
Do you think that every religion is a cult?
Well, that's what he said.
Just because
No.
he said it doesn't make it true.
I didn't
Yeah,
say it was a
just
cult.
because I look
That
like
was
a squirrel
question.
doesn't mean I'm a squirrel.
Are you a fae or something?
Are you not a squirrel?
I don't know. I think I'm a squirrel.
If
I'm
you
gonna
thought
puke.
really hard, could you turn yourself into something else?
I don't know. Let me try.
Yeah.
And he bundles his little arms and kind of, covers his eyes.
Watch that O-ring.
Nothing happens.
Ah.
I was going to say,
Well,
Alan,
what
it would have
did
been very helpful if you could change.
What did you
Well-
think you were going to change into?
I want it to be something big and strong and powerful and something that doesn't get eaten by cats.
You're
Birds.
currently riding a cat.
I know,
Fair
but it's
enough.
it's not live. I don't have to worry about that.
And it likes you. I can
Right.
tell. I'm asking the religious question seriously because I have been very intrigued in religion since I escaped the 9 hells of Atur. and I have been seeking for a higher power in my own life. So I'm very interested in your traveler. I'm also interested in some other deities I'd heard of. One of them was a drow goddess
Wolf.
named no, not Lolth. No. I know about Lolth. We hear a lot about her in the Hells. This one is called how does it go? Aelistre. Drow goddess who there's a symbol of her with the moon, with the blade. I've seen some imagery and it's very intriguing. Anyway, so I'm just open, that's all. Now, a cult would be something where you're like sacrificing other people or doing horrible acts, or, So I would say that, like a bona fide religion, you're not out just murdering people and causing havoc in the world. They're probably doing maybe some good or something like that.
Ivar's face is the facial equivalent of well. So I don't know the names of the Dark Six, but I do know that worshiping them in the open is illegal. The Traveler is more nebulous,
Okay, good to know.
but if you worship all this, like the whole six, no, no,
Said one of them was vengeance.
represents
That sounds pretty
vengeance.
bad.
I think that's the Fury.
Huh.
I know that there's one that the Devourer.
To be perfectly honest, your Dark Six sound very similar to the rulers of the various levels of hell. So, I mean, it all sounds very familiar to me. I'm looking more for like light gods and goddesses.
Oh yeah, the Dark Six were the ones that were cast out from the Pantheon.
Right.
So yeah, they might actually be the gods of hell. I don't know. Again, not the Traveler. The Traveler is Sibrant. He's unaligned.
Okay, sure.
Just he's often just lumped in because, well, how do you govern change? How do you govern chaos?
People tend to see chaos as bad, so they put them with the Dark Six.
Precisely.
Yeah, I can get that. Sure. I don't mind chaos.
Chaos, deception, evolution, invention, and transformation are his doctrines. Some stories say credit him with the invention of the world. And of course, his children, or the children of Jess.
I got
The
a
chil-
question about
Hmm.
this world bearing. You said it was birthed out of the belly of a dragon.
He cut a dragon open, yeah.
Well, if that was the creation of the world, where did the dragon come from?
The gods, obviously. Duh.
So there was no world. They were just like flying around in space.
Just like timeless beings just floating there? Or I'm more confused than when we started this.
They were floating. And why were they so angry at each other? There was no world to fight over. So no resources. So why were they so angry at each other?
It's a great question that I do not have the answers to because I'm not smart enough for this.
Oh yes, you are. Don't be modest.
I'm looking at that intelligence modifier out of character and going,
That's average.
All of this is so over Zed's head that I think he's at this point just kind of looking up, counting stars.
That's fair. Regardless.
My low intelligence, wisdom, and charisma are all like, what the fuck is this girl talking about now? This is crazy.
I mean, I lived with a group of shadow monks. We were like a nomadic monastery. Sometimes we had places to stay, but it's like we were our own monastery. We talked a lot about philosophy and different religions.
You said you
That's right.
escaped hell.
Oh yes.
How'd you get there? That sounds terrible.
Well, I was born there. He kind of flicks his hard black horns.
So is that good or bad?
And his face, you've all seen before, his face is sort of, his brow crinkles together as he kind of, his smile just sort of fades, and his eyes just sort of withdraw. He's like, "Oh, yeah, it was pretty horrifying."
You all are an interesting bunch.
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah, we're just getting to know each other too.
Holy shit! Did you all
Nobody's
just see
even,
that?
See what?
hey,
It looked so. Oh, well, maybe I'm probably the only one looking up here, but it was almost like a shooting star. But it was the front end looked like a ship, and it seemed to crash into that mountain way over there.
a ship?
An unidentified flying
It
object.
was like flying through the air.
You know what?
Very-
I'm eager to escape this conversation. Let's go see what it is.
Oh, sure.
So the mountain he points to
Unconcerned shrug. Oh, it happens.
is quite a ways off. It might take a good bit of time to travel there.
By the way, they
Yeah.
don't call them UFOs anymore. I've read that in a book somewhere.
They call them
So-
UAPs, I know.
So to
Hey.
kind of give a bit of a distance of how far the mountain is, like when you're looking at the image here, imagine that mountain on the left side. That's how far it is.
You want to go check it out? Do you think it's a sign?
Well, I'm not sure. It's quite far away, but
The alternative is literally waiting for Kozik to hear a voice in his brain telling him where to go.
Kozak asked some of the creatures around here where we should go.
We just had a magical path open up in front of us as if by magic, and we haven't gone down it yet. I could start
We're
calling out, but I don't know
Well-
if now's the right time.
I mean, it is to the left, and that mountain is to the left.
Let's go.
Let's
That's
continue
perfect.
down the path.
Start
Start
Maybe
walking
we'll see.
down the path. We got off on this trail because we were asking who was wearing shoes and who wasn't.
You know what? I'm putting my boots back on. That's it.
Well, I mean,
he's like, "God,
before-
hops along, putting
well,
on
before
his
that
boots."
happens, because your feet have
Uh-oh.
kind of been submerged in a little bit of mud, a little bit of water kind of fills in your footprints. You suddenly can't move.
Oh, wait, hey, you guys, wait.
But
Like
did
trying
it happen before I took off the ground or after?
It was well after.
fuck, beware the gifts of the traveler. Oh my god.
Is this a gift?
In a sense, it has happened to you, therefore it has been gifted to you.
Oh man, the mud feels so good between my toes, but I don't like not being able to move.
So
It's nice
Kozik
and
can
warm.
move.
What was that,
No.
Kozik?
Can I move or not?
Do you have shoes on?
Oh yeah.
You're moving fine.
Holds out his
Hmm.
staff to anybody around, and it's like, pull.
Is
More
there?
than
Can
that.
I?
Daggers out. Niavar is going to fall back and literally crawl herself out.
Gosh,
Breaking
it would be
bones
like
be
to-
damned.
Oh,
You're gonna
right.
break my bones?
Niavara
my
was also shoeless, right, huh?
hmm
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So you can't move either.
Can I
Your
grab
feet
his
kind of
staff?
sank in a little bit. Oh, yeah, you could grab it. You have flight. You're not touching the ground.
I'm gonna grab it and go up.
Yeah, up.
So you pull, and you, 19 plus. Yeah, it's good. So you flap your wings, and you pull, and you definitely start. There's definitely a lot of resistance trying to pull Cha up, but you do manage to do so. And as you're doing so, you are very aware that there are several vines that have wrapped around his ankles, very hidden in the mud.
Oh.
But you pull and you manage to just yank them off. They just snap.
Oh wow! Here,
I
go
see-
over to Niavara. I'll hand her my staff.
Yeah, do I see her trying to attempt to crawl out?
Yes, she's in the same situation as Cha,
And she had her dagger out. She pulled her dagger out.
apparently.
I'm gonna I didn't get anybody's name, so I'm just gonna shout, "You with the dagger, look at your feet. You've got vines wrapped around your feet. Try instead of crawling, cut them away."
Niavara is going to do so with great haste. She does not, in fact, enjoy being tied up.
I think Zed will hear that, and since he's standing down on the ground, perfectly fine because he has boots on, he'll pull out a. Let's see. I have a short sword, right? Yes. Pull out a short sword and help to try to alleviate these vines.
You cut them with ease.
Niavara is going to scramble out if she can.
I'll hold shot in the air until he can get himself
Yeah,
situated.
he's struggling to brush off all the muck and then sticks his boots back on while he's floating around up there. Oh, thanks,
While you-
Raoul.
While you're
very
slicing away
helpful.
these vines. So since Cha and Zed can hear this screeching sound, like pain screeching.
Ugh,
I hate that.
what the hell was that? Do you know
Like,
that
as we're-
sound, Raoul?
Not my fault.
I don't know if I heard it.
Actually, so who else touching them? So actually, it would be Zed, Niavara, and Cha, because they have all. Okay, yes, y'all three hear that.
You heard a shriek?
Yep.
Don't grab me. I'll cut you.
Wow. Is the ground alive?
I
Like, something
mean,
didn't like that. That's for sure.
the
So it's just
dryad
kind of looking
might
around.
be a little bit more mad at me, but like again, she didn't want me to do this. She should have grabbed me.
The Dryad was trying to capture us?
No.
And while you're having
Okay,
this,
okay. No more bare feet in this world, all right?
while you're having
And
this
no handstands.
delightful
I was going
discussion,
to do a handstand, but no more handstands.
I would like to point out. So Raoul, give me a quick. Let's see. So you're carrying somebody, but you're flying. So give me a. It's not athletic. Acrobatics check. As you're.
I think I'm carrying him by his staff he is holding on to.
Oh yeah, but this is something else.
Okay.
So as you're trying to carry him away, some of the branches of the trees just kind of twist and curl, and they almost look like they try and swat you out of the sky.
I hate this.
I hate this
Oh.
too.
What is going on?
I didn't make it.
All right. So you get a little smackaroo.
What if I give Raul my inspiration?
Then he can roll it again. I mean, it's only really 4 points of damage.
Did you take hit points away, or did I forget to go to full?
So you should be at full, -4.
Okay, so that would be because I had 22 earlier, and now it says 28. So, we fixed the first level. Roll.
Yeah, because the first level should have been maximum.
So I am at 24 then.
I guess
And
it's up
you
to
find it very difficult to maintain your grasp on this. Is this branch,
Oh,
this tree, just kind of catches you off guard.
strength save to see if I drop him?
I mean, you
Or
don't
you can
have
use
to if
my
you want.
inspiration if you want.
The acrobatics
Any,
is really just to see
acrobatics?
if, you can get out of the way of it. I guess it should have been a save, but I think it's, yeah, whatever.
I just don't want him to drop Cha.
Yeah, you managed to hold on to Cha.
He's only like a couple feet off because if he's holding a staff, I'm holding onto the end of it. He's on the other end. He would probably only be a couple feet off the ground, I think.
Actually, save
I
still
would
would have been
assume.
bad. Yeah, basically feet not in the mud kind of scenario. And so
But if
like those horror movies when like the trees are just swaying awkwardly in the dark. That's kind of what this one's doing. It just kind of sways really fast.
I imagine Whomping Willow just whacking me.
Hey, that's a good name for it. Make sure nobody copyrights that.
So, what do y'all do?
I'm gonna set Shaw down.
In the mud?
Oh,
He's I think he put his boots back on.
yes.
So describe to me how you put your boots on while holding on to a staff.
So he's hanging on by one hand and his tail. And he had under his arm, he had his boots, which he was just carrying. So he's like kind of maneuvering, getting one boot, sort of bending his leg back. He's a monk. He's very dexterous. And he's wriggling it on. And then he like holds one boot in his teeth. And then he kind of works around to the other one, uses one hand to maneuver that one on while holding onto the staff. That's what I imagined.
All right, you now have squishy boots on.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he puts you back in the mud. You can move just fine.
Oh, man. Weird. Raul, you better not land in this stuff.
I don't own boots, if that's what's causing this.
Yes. Maybe they don't mind. Maybe they don't like feet, but they like talons. I don't know.
They like me? What?
Well, Alan, don't get in the mud.
You said
Yeah,
they
stay
like
in the
islands.
back.
They said they like islands. I'm an island.
Don't go over there, Alan.
They don't like Allens.
Oh, okay. He stays on the back
Uh,
of Mittens.
Niavara
Run!
is putting on her own stuff and then
Alright.
stands back up.
Squishy boots.
I am disgusted. I
You
hate
know what?
this.
Gifts of the traveler.
Gifts of the traveler.
Other than the vines that are trying to strangle us to death, wouldn't it be nice to take like a whole bath in this stuff? Mm.
I will bring you back to the Underdark so that you can lay in the mud again.
Hmm. I think I
I
might
mean-
make this a part of my nightclub when I finally build it.
You could go back and say hi to Gary.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go say hi to Gary. We made a promise.
So you continue through the mud with no other incident as long as boots are on, because you've started to cross into a bit of a swampland. You're on the outskirts of it. Everything was getting a little, the mud was getting thicker. It was getting a little bit harder to walk. Your feet were kind of sinking into the mud, and your boots do the same thing. But your fleshy bits aren't exposed, and for whatever reason, maybe that's the difference. Who knows? Nobody really seemed to want to think too much into that one.
Goodness, this place just likes to eat things.
Maybe. However, you continue through. Nothing really seems... I was going to say nothing really seems out of place, but everything here is out of place because everything here is chaotic and beautiful in its own level of chaos. At one point, you could pretty sure you can hear the sound of perception checks.
Sounds like dice rolling.
All right, doing so good, guys. We are so perceptive.
I have a
Really?
+5 to perception still
And-
too.
And watch
I have a-
Veldrin come in here with another nat 20.
I have a +7.
I
Really
can't
good.
see anything ever.
All right, so Kozik and Raul. Mayhaps because Raul has a bit of a height advantage. You guys are pretty damn sure that there's a mound of swampy shrubbery slowly rolling through the swamp in front of you.
At us? Or just
Not-
in past us?
Just kind of crossing the T.
There's
It
a
is-
tumbleweed.
It's a
front of
very
us?
large one.
We don't.
Tumbleweed.
It's a big old stinky glob of muck and vines just kind of moseying through the swamp there in front of us.
Oh, man, is there something else going to try to eat us? Let's
I'll
avoid
do
it.
Mayhaps.
I can make all of us be very stealthy. We can avoid it. Do you like that? Or do you want to go talk to it? Do you think it might be a friend?
Those-
I mean, you and
those
Alan
are-
were friends.
Kozik calls out to it. He says, "Hey, you over there! What are you doing rolling around out there?"
Hey, stop it.
Kozik, give me a D100.
Oh, classic.
64.
Bless you.
Hello.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's strange. Okay.
All right. So you call out to it, and this overwhelmingly large mound of muck and mud and maybe some, biomass from like trees and just bleh. It stops. That's all it does.
It just
You got
stopped.
its attention, Kozik.
Say, hey, why don't you come over here?
This massive mound of swamp. A massive mound of embodiment of swamp slowly, ominously rolls towards you.
Starts backing up.
That's gonna pat Kozik on the shoulder and just be like, "Yep, buddy, that's all you."
I'm
Yeah,
gonna go a little higher.
Kozik stands fast for sure. And this thing seems to understand the common tongue, but I try speaking to it in the Sylvan language that I've picked up over the years out there traveling in the woods and such. And I say, hello, we're travelers here. We're looking for the mistress of this realm.
Give me a persuasion check.
So I've got a +4 to this, so probably it'll be the worst roll ever. Let's see.
Gonna get a 5.
Hey,
Well, it's not
16 is
terrible.
Pretty good. Pretty good for us.
Yeah, pretty good for a +4.
Yeah.
This mound. So this mound of muck starts. Some of the muck starts to shed, just kind of in the ground in front of you. Not very quickly, just almost like imagine a landslide, right? It's just watching just this huge pile of stuff just slowly slide off of well, its edges, basically. And eventually, beneath the quote-unquote shell appears to be some kind of a, well, looks like a weird humanoid mushroom thing.
Oh, Kosik
Whoa.
is delighted by what a whimsical creature to have seen here in the fairylands. He says, "Oh, hello, my name's Kosik Deepshaft, a dwarf, and we're travelers here." Any response for that?
Sorry, I was putting an image for you guys
Oh.
to look at.
Cha just nods after Kozik says that. His eyebrows raised.
Makes my trypophobia mess up. I don't like it at all. Hate that.
Well
Yeah, I
met.
hate that a lot.
Well met.
What, these guys?
Kozik.
Yes, and you, well met. You know my name. You know of me.
I think they're related to Clarence.
You speak loud in the swamps.
I beg your pardon. I'm from under the earth and under the hills, so I guess I do speak with a loud voice. Ha ha ha. He's trying to just be a little bit gregarious here.
Your name travels in the wind.
I feel flattered to hear that. Do you I don't know. Do you guys live around here, or are you travelers here too?
We exist as part of the swamps.
Hmm. Quite that's quite profound, I guess. Do you know is this the path to meet the mistress of this realm? The powerful lady who summoned us here?
There are many voices that traverse the winds.
Yes. I turn to my compatriots and say, "Are you guys hearing this guy too? This strange mushroom creature?"
Yes, you all are. And as it speaks, it doesn't really have a mouth, but the sound, is emerging from it, and it's such a noticeable sound, right? It's almost like the air vibrates as it speaks. Just, sheer depth and basically depth to its voice. Like when you're sitting next to a speaker and you're like hearing the bass drop, kind of like that level of vibration.
Kozik, you're like a megastar around here, dude.
Well, stick with me and you guys will get famous too, I guess. I
Like
have no
Mikhail.
idea.
You're like Mikhail Haxon. He was a famous performer in the hills.
We know not of the hells. However,
Oh, I hope you never do.
we do know the land. It is willing.
We'd like to keep it that way, for sure.
I heard the land comes from a dragon.
Yeah, the belly of a dragon, right?
I think that's what she said.
Things existed long before the dragons.
Oh, they know about the dragons nearby.
I say to the mushroom entity, is there anything that you would desire of us? Would you like to make a trade of some kind?
You called to us.
True enough.
What
Where were
wisdom
you?
can you grant us, Great One? From your aged brilliance.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Ha! You pick up a thing or two in hell, my friends.
The swamps, dangerous to you. The land can be traversed with assistance.
I make a dwarven bow and a curt dwarven bow, and I say, "Would you be able to assist us, good sir?"
They shake their heads,
Hmm.
but
Is it possible
they
that
could. And you feel the ground rumble beneath you. That's about it.
Maybe we can ask the stones beneath. Kozak, you're good with rock. Ask the stones to help us.
is it possible that there's another one of those potential ships that might be flying about in the skies? Maybe we could borrow one.
The land has been skittered with flying boats.
You know about the flying boats.
It slowly raises the finger to the sky, as you definitely notice one flying overhead.
Whoa.
Traveler.
I instinctively look at Niavara as they say travelers. I go, huh? Yeah, right?
Hey.
It's a common word.
Well, yeah.
It's not
Kozak,
the traveler.
did you expect any other response, Kozak?
Huh?
I mean, really.
I don't. Well, he kind of harumphs and turns back to these mushroom creatures.
We saw one of those smash into a
Um,
mountain a while ago, or our friend Zed did. Are they like, it seems like they have trouble landing.
Some more than others.
Ah,
And as it says that, Alan jumps off the back of Bittens and just kind of pats the ground, scoops up some mud.
careful, Alan.
Why?
Well, the ground tried to grab me and eat my feet earlier today.
Well, maybe ask ground to not do that.
That's
Hey,
a good
ground,
idea.
can we get through the swamp? There's another
Sorry,
rumble.
Ground. Want to be friends, ground?
Another rumble.
yeah. Kozik kneels down on the ground and kind of puts his hand to the soil there and says, "Good Earth, would you let us pass safely through these lands?"
Give me a persuasion check with advantage for reasons that you don't know about.
Okay,
Um,
persuasion.
Are the
advantage.
ships spectral or physical?
They're airships, essentially.
Kozak,
Maybe
I'm
you
giving
could,
you my inspiration on that one.
All right.
maybe you
Well, with the
could
inspiration, you can re-roll that.
maybe
Okay,
you could ask the ground if it's got one of those ships in it. Well, we could have.
see then.
Yes.
Nice. There we go.
So, an excellent use of a inspiration roll. You kneel down, and for a moment, you touch the ground. And mind you, you're in the swamp, right? So it's not just dirt. It's very murky and blech. Whereas before you were very much like, I don't want to touch that with my feet. Now you're kneeling down and getting your knees dirty and your hands dirty. And much like what you saw your other compatriots, you see these vines start to crawl up your arm. For you, very akin to that altar in the cave.
I get, yeah.
But it's only brief, as these vines grow up your arm and then retract, and you feel the ground rumble as you ask this. And at that point, the humanoid mushroom entities take a step back, or two, or three, or several. And all you can see in the blink of an eye, quick question, is Raul still flying?
Yes.
Okay, how high again?
Probably about. All right. So whenever the little ball rolled up to us, I went above it. So how tall is the ball?
Well, the ball's now gone, so
Oh, what?
it was like 10 feet tall.
Probably like 12 feet.
All right. So you're above all this, but you see it happen, in real time. The party is encompassed by a giant stone. Just out of nowhere, like it just suddenly goes dark for all y'all's in the party except for one person. And it kind of looks like they're all encased in a giant boulder or a giant rock formed around them. Like it started out, the mud reached out of the ground, vines reached out with the mud, encased the party, and before you can finish blinking, the texture of it went from like mushy and like moist to a hard shell of a rock.
Is it
Perfectly
like a
round.
bubble? Or
Is it like what?
it like a bubble that and can I see through it, or is it just like opaque stone?
It's just stone.
Okay,
really
so
see
I
through
don't
this stuff.
know if it's like a bubble and they're alive in it, or if they've been petrified. I have no idea.
Correct.
Mr. Mushroom Guy, what just happened?
Travel.
Are they dead?
They shake their heads.
They travel between the states of life and death.
They are they
Start reading from that pamphlet. This is a good time for it.
are they inside of that? Like, okay, is it like a shell, or is it? Or are they? Did they become stone?
The element heed their call.
Or I just wait to see if it starts moving?
They shrug.
All right. Well, thanks for all your help there. I guess I'll just kind of hang out and wait for him then.
All right, so you just keep flying, or do you like land on the rock, or?
I'm gonna sit on top of the rock.
Oh, that's convenient. So when you sit on top of the rock, a hole opens that you can just kind of enter. It's almost like the rock is peeling away, the vines peel back and kind of pull the stone with it.
So can I
Hey Raul, get in here.
Like I'm gonna
It's nice and warm.
go to sit down on it and then just whoop and fall through it.
Yep, pretty much.
All right. What just happened?
And the hole above you seals.
Oh, you trapped in here. No, the ground listened to us. We were asking for it to help us. It's helping.
And with
No
that,
problem.
you can hear the sound of ground rumbling. It feels like you're moving, but we'll figure that out next session because it's 10 o'clock.
Nice.
Not a fan being in the ground.
Kozik's loving it. He's even more at home now than he's ever been here
Nice.
in a goddamn rock.
Kaz
Back to
enjoying
the
it as
basics.
well. What about Niavara and Veldrin? How do you feel about this?
I guess from the dark to the dark.
Let's
Cool.
go.
Very, very zen. Very
Like a
zen.
Minecraft cart.
We're off to see the wizard.
What was Wonderful Wizard of Oz?
The wizardess, yeah.
Sweet.
I know it's a little
Thanks,
short,
everybody.
but
That was
you know,
great.
people gotta go. It gives you guys plenty of time for your your Mando.
It's not for another 2 hours, so no.
Oh
Oh
no.
no! What are you gonna do?
Probably drink my coffee. Probably fall asleep for a little while there.
Drink your coffee.
Read
Good
about
idea.
your 5 dark deities.
There are 6.
I mean the other 5.
Niavara borrowing the book.
Man, I can't wait to hear more about this book. But Veldrin's never gonna tell us the new names or anything that's in the book, huh?
Never.
You guys aren't asking him. That's the other
We
thing.
do ask. He doesn't tell us.
In
Have you
time.
asked him, man, what's in your book?
Yes.
When?
Back when the names are going in there.
Yeah, back then. It's been several days.
Okay, I'll ask again.
It's not lying if you're not asking him to tell you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
Awesome. Have a
Yeah.
great
All
week,
right.
everyone.
Catch
Thanks,
y'all
guys.
later.
Welcome
Thanks
to
for
Bye.
having me.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for joining. It's cool.
Bye.
Bye.
God.
All right. It was a little bit of a short session, but gonna wrap up the stream here. I know not a whole lot happened visually, but I'll round that there. Oh, I didn't update that. Oopsie. Hold on. I gotta update that. That's not. Oop, that's not right. Oop. Boop 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 boop. There we go. Oop, there we go. Ooh. Yeah, I was trying to update things so quickly. So, I appreciate you guys being here and checking this out. If you are gonna check out the YouTube that I am probably gonna, you know what, I might just upload that tonight so I don't forget. Yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I appreciate y'all's being here and lurking, and if y'all's on the YouTubes, I hope you enjoyed it and had as much fun as we did. We are a very RP heavy group, and you know, I like to write in the ability for people to work their way out of a combat, and sometimes they can't. So I think that's important. So with that, I hope you guys have a good morning, evening, or whatever's in between. And remember, if there's people you care about, give them a hug or say you appreciate them. It's always good to remind people that they matter. So with that, we will catch you again next time, adventurers, probably with a full session. So I'll catch you guys on the flip side, because I have to also download and upload this VOD. So I keep saying so. So yeah. Until next time, have yourselves a good one, and we look forward to seeing you for episode 12. Yeah.